Ha 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 ha.
We're gonna surprise people.
Dude, this thing is fucking badass.
What's bad at?
The
Who
staging
even
site,
talking? Oh,
killing it over here. I just gotta. I don't got a whole lot left to do. I mean, I think the real challenge is going to be that dealer locator section. Hey, what's up, Jeremy?
wow. He said, "Hey guys," before the counter even changed. Oh, and the counter says that somebody's in here from YouTube, not Facebook, but he's in here from Facebook.
It's because of his new Tint Man thing. He's breaking all the rules.
He is. He's special.
He's giving it to the man. He says, "What trademark?" I don't know if you're up to date on that. Some guy has been going around messaging people with Tint Man in their names, telling them that Tint Man is a licensed trademark, and in order to use Tint Man in your name, you have to pay $300, or you will like be hearing from this lawyer with a cease and desist and all this crazy stuff. So everyone told them to pretty much get bent, and everyone's been changing their names to Tin Man.
Oh. Well, Mr. Trademark Tint Man, I don't know how to break it to you, but I've got evidence that I've been going under Tint Man 2000 since 2000. And not just because of the name, but because I was just as uncreative as he was back in 2000 when I first got online.
You know that Joe guy from across the street from Tint Squad, Michigan Tinning? That's actually how I discovered he was a tinner back when I was working at the coffee shop, and he forgot his rewards card. So I'm like, well, I can look you up by email. And it was like Tint Man something. I was like, oh, so you're a tinner. He was 1996. Oh, he has you beat. He says 95. Jeez.
Yeah,
People
whatever.
are so dumb.
He can go lick a flagpole down towards the bottom.
In the winter time.
Well, I started tinting in '89, so, and if you count the time I helped my dad tint his camper, shit, that was in the late '70s.
I was gonna say 1942. Oh yeah, and then Nipsey got involved.
I don't know. Somebody ever comes at me and says something about using the name Tint Man, I'll just block them. I ain't got time
Well,
for
no,
that.
it turned into more in that because like it was like someone was like, "Is this how you respect your customers?" or something of that nature, and he was like, who gives a crap about my customers? They keep coming back because they're stupid. Like, I could piss all over my customers and they'd still come back and throw me their money or whatever. And so Nipsey screenshotted that and then went onto his Google reviews and posted it on his shop page. It's a whole mess. And then apparently like he was like saying racist remarks to people, and then like people were posting that in like all the tint pages, and so everyone came at him with like death threats and stuff. And then he starts claiming that that wasn't actually him, and someone stole his like or made a profile with his name and like this and that. It's just a big mess, and nobody on Radar wants to deal with it. So everyone's making Richard take care of it. But Richard's like over it. It's actually been, I don't know. I
What are
mean,
you gonna do?
it's crazy. It's been a very eventful weekend in the behind the scenes of the industry.
Yes, very. What the hell?
Yeah. So what's everyone else got going on? How you doing, T Town? Any new projects? Any new baseball stuff?
All I
Jeremy?
know is it's freaking hot outside. Anybody else
It is
hot
very,
outside? What's crazy is today we're the same temperature in Michigan as Jacksonville, Florida.
and we're a high humidity state. Like I don't think people get that we're surrounded by water in all directions.
Nah.
Cause like I try to talk to people in Florida and they're like, "Well, we're humid hot," and it's like, do you not understand? We're like surrounded by water, and it's like I don't think people realize how big the Great Lakes actually are too, because like they're like mini oceans.
I don't know about all that, but yeah, they're big.
They're big. I mean, there's certain parts where you can't see Canada anymore.
There are big parts where you can't see the other side of it.
I don't know. I don't mind it
86, real
honestly.
feel 96. I don't know what our real feel is. When I was growing up, we didn't have a thing called real feel. Did anybody add the auto wash maintenance stuff in?
No, our real feel is 99 right now.
Yeah, so we're winning.
It's hundreds in some places. I don't know. I don't believe in the real feel because like what does that even mean? Like that's not accurate temperature. Oh jeez. Oh there they are.
Oh
There
shit,
he
he
is.
came back.
Hmm.
I'm not sure what he thought he was gaining by leaving and coming back though.
uh, yeah, I don't know. Is there anything cool going on this week?
Yes. How about you guys?
Sounds like we're all doing shit. Dude, it's been like, I don't know. There's like really not a whole lot to catch up from over the weekend. Had my last race and I'm tied for second. Ooh, you know what is this week though?
What?
The Lions versus the Chiefs.
Yeah, and so I got to volunteer out at the park, so but it'll be like DVR, and so I if I miss any of it, it won't be much, and I'll catch up during commercials.
Jeremy, I don't understand how race points works. Like how close does that mean?
Go pack, go. Yeah, well, I don't know about that.
Dude,
Are we
so
talking about the Packers? Because like we're not sure about this Love character.
oof. Means he
But
needs to lose second round, and I need to win the race. Oh,
so you're close.
okay. Dang. Yeah, I don't know.
Jeremy got some hustling going on.
I'm very happy about this season's fantasy football because I went through each week to see my projections compared to the person I'm playing that week, and I am ahead in projection points against everyone that I'm facing for the entire league.
Well, that's
But
cool.
we all know how projections work though, because I'll be projected to win and then Mahomes breaks an ankle or something.
Oh, you got Mahomes again?
Oh yeah, that's just my go-to quarterback. It was either gonna be
Did,
him or Stafford.
I see. I worry about Stafford. I don't think he's happy out in LA. I think that I don't think he's got it because I mean, look at him in Detroit. In Detroit, you break that motherfucker's back, which happened, and he went out and played.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
So this last race, I know. Last race, I now have a catch. Each round is worth points. Oh, maybe I'll get into racing. I need a new hobby.
You know what's a good hobby?
What?
I don't know. TikTok,
I
YouTube.
know. I did I recorded a video, and I've just been kind of like not excited to throw it on Premiere and do the things. I am not coming to the beach. Anything that makes you happy is a great hobby. Good
That
hobbies are
is.
guitars and model cars.
Ayana got a guitar.
Yeah. What's up, Ryan? I'm sorry I don't answer your phone calls. I've been really busy lately.
He's been stressing.
I've been stressed out.
Life can get stressful sometimes.
So can his dog. I'm just kidding. Oh,
Marquise, what's up? Best way to use
Mark.
the film handler. The best way is to put the film in it and pull it through the cutting thing at the size that you need. That's a really good way.
I'm trying to
No,
learn
but
how to feed it.
to feed it, you want it to come off the roll over the top because that gives it the best angle. And um, I personally, we have ours at the tent shop mounted to the wall. I mean, we can remove it off the wall pretty easy and take it with if need be, but we like to just chill and cut patterns the night before a job and just go out with a box of windows that are all labeled because it makes you look so much more professional in the customer's eyes when you're in and out with a quickness. No muss, no fuss. I mean, you still got a big bag of liner that you got to take with you, but you don't have a bunch of little cut off pieces and all that. But yeah, I just made little stanchions for it, bolted them to the wall, and we mount the film handler on that like a shelf, and it's about 6 feet up, and we just pull it straight down. And then that way on the long runs we can pull it out further. Just keep the floor clean under it. But yeah.
My kiddo's doing good. She's the top of her class.
Top of
They,
her
s-
class.
yeah, they send me pictures and stuff. They're always so shocked with how much they know. Oh, getting into codings. Congratulations. I don't know. It seems scary. There's probably nothing
I'm into
scary about it.
I'm into coatings like mud, dust, dirt.
I don't know. I've been thinking about detailing. So you know how I'm like stressing for cash? And then you're like I know you do these lectures about side hustles and whatnot. And like, I don't know, there's a part of me that wants to like figure out detailing. Cause I'm thinking about like, well, winter's coming and tent's gonna slow down. So like maybe I
So
need to
does
have
detailing.
oh, does it? It's the same time.
Yeah.
Works off the same season.
I
Like
would
I
say
you know,
learn remote starts, but God, so many. I mean, we're getting so far away from cars that didn't come with remote starts that, that industry is just flat dying. But that used to be a good carry through industry.
I mean I thought about audio, but I just feel like the startup on that is kind of like rough because what they sent like drop a deposit and then I buy the audio equipment with the deposit or like how does that even work? Like I've
Well,
never bought audio from anybody, so I've never had the service done.
um, audio's a toughie. I mean, I've seen a lot of people do like that, but they always struggle. It's hard to sell something you don't have possession of.
Is that when
And
I gotta make friends with a distributor, right? So like I basically sell and install what they sell. I'd probably
yeah,
get better deals
yeah.
with
I mean, you can
whoever.
reach out to Sean. He will he will most
Over?
likely. Yeah. Yeah, they
Oh.
got Dragon Distributing. They sell everything damn near. It'd probably be a good starting point. But the other thing is, as far as audio goes, there is a whole lot to know. It's not just hooking up wires. There is a ton to know.
And then another thing is I have PPF practice film. So I got like practice stuff for like a little bit of all these different like side hustles and it's just like hard to figure out which one I want to like get my hands wet in first. I got a little portable shampoo or it's like a Hoover. And it's got like I don't know. It's got like two compartments. It's got one that puts out water and then one where it all goes to. And I've been watching videos and it seems like everyone's got the same vacuum carpenter thing. PPF just seems scary to me, and I'm like conflicted with the purpose of PPF and like the aftermath of PPF because I know like people get PPF to protect their paint, but I've seen people do like removals and they lose paint from the removals. So like
Well,
I kind of seems like counterintuitive.
that's that's definitely a scary part, but it's not as common as it. I mean, people don't go online and post about things that just went well. So they
Yeah.
post about things that didn't go well. And um so you're going to see a ton more people saying, "Oh my god, I went to remove this and a big chunk of paint come off and the customer wants me to pay for it." And and again, we talked about this earlier today, setting expectations for your customer, make them understand and take their own responsibility for what they're about to receive. And if you're in front of it and let the customer know the potential ahead of time, then there's not much of an argument afterwards if he's like, "Hey, it's doing that thing you told me it might do." Um, exactly. Where if you didn't tell him and it does that thing, then you got an argument because he doesn't know any better. I mean, it's not his fault it did that thing. He doesn't know,
But then
so
that's like when I have to learn like I should learn paint correction, right? Like as like a backup like skill, like
No, paint correction is like a real thing because if you're gonna do PPF, you can PPF over a lot of things that you wouldn't think, and the PPF's gonna hide it. But there's also a lot of things that, you're gonna have to learn to clay a car and feel a car and make sure it's good. You might want to start learning touch up because if the car's got any rock chips, you PPF over it, you're gonna leave a little air gap, and depending on the color of the car, it's gonna amplify whatever that little chip looked like before you started. So there's a little bit to that, and then the removal process, most PPFs are a good 10-year film nowadays. So if you just, again, let the customer know what to expect. If you're going to keep this for more than 10 years, do not leave this product on for more than 10 years. Because if you do, then it just wipes out everything that it did for you in that 10 years, because it's going to have, a lot of times people will damage the paint getting the PPF off because the PPF is so dried out, it doesn't have any structure. Just like when somebody lets their tint job go way beyond when they should have had it removed, and then bring it to you to remove, and it wants to come off in little tiny slivers. But PPF is like 8 mil thick, not 1.5 mil thick. So, hey,
hey,
what's up, Mr.
Invasion.
Sanchez?
Um and
Get
then
into glass
also
polishing.
for removal, do you just use like a Jiffy steamer? Kind of like same with film? Or is it just like or is it like a pull and pray?
um, Usually it's a pull and pray. When I notice when you put any heat to it, because it's like elastic to begin with, you put heat to it, and it
It
kills
just
the
stretches.
structural, yeah, it kills the structural integrity of it, so it stretches more and rips. So heat's a funny thing. Being warm, like if you can get the area warm and then peel, is good, but you don't want to heat the material while you're pulling. And anybody that does this more than me, correct me if I'm wrong, it's not exactly my forte. I just know what I've experienced. And
And then what do you just go around it with like ATR or something?
it just depends. Sometimes it comes off clean, but I'd imagine just like any adhesive, you're going to want to use some sort of adhesive remover. What doesn't? ATR, you might want to be careful with though, because it's a very aggressive product.
He's seen Mike cut it into strips, so it's not a big piece.
Yeah,
I
so
don't
so your cut and
know.
PPF game has to be on point, because if you cut it into strips but you go through the PPF, you just created your own
You
nightmare.
know what I think is funny? I watched how to make your own tax solution video, and the guy's like, you're gonna want 99% alcohol, and you want to mix it 50-50 with water. So you just mean 50% alcohol?
49 and a half. Well, the thing is, so you buy 99% because it's cheaper by volume that way.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just paying extra for the water content. Yeah, I don't know. PPF was never, I was forced to learn PPF, so I didn't want to, because don't tell me how to live my life. And so I never enjoyed it. But I was a salary tenor. So when you force me to take on new tasks and don't give me any incentive or reason why I would want to do that, it was really hard for me to wrap my head around wanting to do that. I had a hard time, seeing the big picture in the future, and the more the more things that I could perfect, the better my future could be. But I didn't think of it that way. I always looked at the right now.
But like I'm like so what I'm starting to see is like I go on TikTok and I go on like Facebook Reels and I'm starting to see like PPF come up a lot more, and it's not from like our normal content creators or influencers within our industry. It's like people that have nothing to do with that industry, but they're just like showing off like the service that they just gotten from somebody on their personal car. And then people are like asking questions, and there's like an unbelievable amount of people in our country or even in the whole world that doesn't even know that PPF is a thing. Like people don't know that this exists. There's people that are out there that think cars come like this. Like, oh, I scratched my car, I pour hot water on it, and it's like back to normal. And I think it's like funny. Delayed gratification. I always used a Jiffy steamer and pulled evenly but steady, and it pulls off nice most of the time. Then alcohol the adhesive, but most of the time the vehicle will need to be buffed out after removal.
That too, if it's been on there for any period of time.
Buffing confuses me
Why?
because there's so many pads and there's so many like things.
Well, think of the pads like sandpaper. So you got your cutting pads and you got your polishing pads and you got your steps in between. Just how aggressive do you need to get with the spot? Me, I was always a two pad kind of guy. I got my cutting pad and my polishing pad, and that's all I needed.
I had starter pads, and I was gonna just like start from there and see what I liked about the pads, and like maybe talk to somebody at a detail supply shop and like tell them this is like what I like and this is what I'm using. Is there anything similar? And kind of like try them all out like that way. But somebody's dog pooped all over them.
Oh, throw them in the washing machine. They'll be fine.
Oh, I threw them out.
Or
But
that.
so like our pads pretty cross compatible between different buffer
Yeah,
machines.
I mean, if you got size, and aside from that, you've got orbital and you've got high speed, and you're probably not going to use the same pad on both, although you can.
Oh. Okay, so that kind of answers my question. Marquise Paul says, whatever product you're using, use that line's corresponding pad. They'll be color coded so you don't get confused. But there are a lot of options. You just have to find what works best for you.
Yeah, like I said,
Okay.
I'm a two pad kind of guy. I'm either cutting or I'm polishing. But if you got to do a heavy cut with a high speed wheel, you're going to leave swirls. And then to have like a medium cut pad to go over it with a DA to get rid of the swirls before you polish is not a bad idea. So they're introduces a third pad. But I prefer to be a two-step guy. And just so you know, you can high speed wheel a car and then polish it. And for the first couple of weeks, they'll never see the swirl marks.
For the first
After
couple
about
of
the
weeks.
second or yeah, after the second or third car wash, they become quite apparent.
That's when the polish fades.
I no, not I mean, no, it's just that when you cut into paint with a high speed wheel, you're creating a pattern in the paint, and the polish or the wax will fill those swirls. And so wax is like super soft. So hot weather car washes, it's going to thin out and you're going to start seeing the grooves, I guess you can call it. You don't feel them, but you can see them when the sun hits it right because it changes the reflection, and that's where you see the swirls. So if you heavy cut something with a high speed wheel, you always want to go, and you can even use a heavy cut pad with a DA, just to kind of DA is a dual action, so it's not only spinning, but it's oscillating also, and it creates more of a uniform pattern where a high speed wheel only spins, and so it creates that almost like um you've seen people take like grinders to like metal plates and stuff and make it have that cool pattern. That's what your high
Yeah.
speed wheel is doing to the paint, but in a much less aggressive form. But
Okay.
when the
I
sun
think that's
hits
what
it
I
just
got
right,
too. Is the high speed wheel.
I got a high speed wheel and then I got a couple of Roops polishers and a whole
That's
lot of
like the thing.
pads.
The high speed wheel is like every now and again you get that customer at 10 Squad while you were there, and they're like, "Hey, I got this scuff mark. Is there anything you can do about it?" And you're like, "Let's see if we can like fix this." And that's what that was.
Yeah, you'd be amazed at how much shit you can make go away out of somebody's paint. I mean, paint's got a thickness and you're by cutting, you're actually eating through the paint. But if the scratch or scuff isn't all the way through the paint, you just have to stop before you get through the paint and you can get down to a fresh layer of paint and make it go away. Kind of like when I backed my truck into the dumpster. And I mean, there's a couple of spots that are through the paint, so I wasn't able to fix those, but I made everything else disappear. And yes, I bought a couple Roops polishers just to do my own vehicles because I can't do anything just a little bit anymore. I don't know. I remember back in the day, I bought a red boat, but it was kind of like pink because, oxidization. And I went to Harbor Freight and bought a high speed wheel. And it was great. I was tickled with it. I wheeled that some bitch. It was bright red again. I never bothered to go back and polish it and I didn't keep up with it. And, we didn't have ceramic coatings back then, but um by the end of the year it was getting pink again. And so I was like, yeah, whatever. Year two, it was okay that it was pink. I embraced it. But oxidized boats is that's not something you want to get into. Gel coat sucks. Boy, we're talking about everything but tin, aren't we?
Winter's coming, man. Winter's coming.
Well, actually, so there's a weekend side hustle. Fucking pull boat docks. Call Ryan up and be like, hey, how much should an average cost of a 2016 BMW M1 should someone be looking for a 5% all the way around? What's a BMW M1? Is that a SUV? Is that little new thing? No, I don't even know.
It's that 450 M1.
Is it a SUV? A car?
No, it's like a supercar. I
Well, I
think.
don't fucking know. Price high. We don't get supercars around here. We're in
Oh
the
no,
motor
there's
city.
only 450 M1s.
I'm thinking about 2,500 then.
Yeah, it's like a $500,000 car. Uh, who the hell do you know that's got an M1? No, I'm thinking of. I'm thinking
Yeah,
something
Ryan
different.
says 500 each on boat docks. We got fucking thousands of boat docks around here. And there is no shortage of people looking to get their docks taken out and put in. And $500 a dock, that's probably legit. It's not easy work, but it's quick work. If I ain't mistaken, you can do 2 or 3 docks in a day if you can line them up. Oh, Braden, it's not been on the shelf too long. It's definitely been on the shelf longer than I want it to be, though. So we appreciate you snagging it. That's definitely for sure. Oh, 500 each for 2 people. I don't know what that means, but Yeah, that's a good side hustle. Another good side hustle is shrink wrapping boats. Now, personally, I have zero experience with it, but I know those guys are busy. And if you shrink wrap a boat, those people are going to have you come unshrink wrap it the following year. Well, most of the time, because they don't want to deal with the big bulk of the shrink that like it doesn't just fit in your garbage can. It's a
Right.
lot of material.
Damn Floridians.
See, Jeremy's missing out. he's he's in that all year sunshine shit.
Well, at least we don't
Like,
have to worry about our boats disappearing every time that a hurricane comes.
and I used to know a couple people that did Christmas lights. And there's big
Mm,
money in that if you can get the work.
yeah. I'm
Because for whatever reason, people that'll pay someone to do Christmas lights have money.
yeah, but I don't have vehicles to like tote around ladders and stuff.
Well, there's that. Um,
No, I just want to stick to car stuff. I think I'm gonna do like I don't know. What about engine bay detailing?
well, that's part of detailing. It's not its own thing.
I know, but
And I guess engine bay detailing, the biggest thing you got to look out for is old hoopty cars, and they're the ones that probably want it the most. And the problem is old plug wires that are all dried out and um, ancient old distributor caps that are probably not sealed well. And you start spraying that shit down, and next thing you know, the car won't run.
yeah, it's like toothbrush, spray bottle, and
No, no,
auto
that's
wipes.
no. It's engine degreaser and a pressure washer, and you just
You
leave
just
the
gotta make sure that the plug wires are like in good, right, and like the wire
well.
harnesses are like
You have
protected.
the vehicle running while you do it. Stay away from the air cleaner too if they got any kind of openings for the air cleaner because that's bad. But you have the engine running when you do it, and you'll know right away if you don't want to do that car because you'll spray it and it'll start acting up. And then you want to have a talk with the customer and be like, hey, your car needs stuff. And there's a good chance if I continue, it's not going to run. But that's not usually a thing because you're supposed to charge enough that the guys with the hoopty cars aren't going to pay you to do it. And you need a place to do it too because you're cleaning off oil and grime and shit that probably needs to drain through a separator, which you don't have because they're usually in the ground. So that might not be a real thing. Um, but yeah, back in the day, we used to do like used car lot cars. And so I got lots of little shortcut tricks that'll get you paid, but won't last long. Engine degreaser, pressure washer, let it run for, I don't know, 15 minutes after you're done, just to make sure that the heat dries everything really good. And shut the car off and spray everything with tire dressing. It looks fabulous. But the next time they open their hood to check their oil or anything, it's going to be all caked with dust. But whatever. That just means they need to come back and get it done again.
Man.
So what else does anybody know? I mean, remote starts for the most part these days are pretty much plug and play. I mean, there's still a little bit of learning curve to doing them. But again, the problem is fewer and fewer cars are out there that that need a remote start. Your client base is going to be either people with older cars that don't have them, sometimes people that want something with better range because the factory remote only works so far. But I've noticed that factory remotes have come a long ways over the years. They used to wouldn't work 50 feet from the car. And so you could still sell those people remote starts. But new cars, fuck. I'm sitting on my patio and I can start the truck with it out by the road. And that's crazy. I mean, it's not crazy for an aftermarket remote start, but it's kind of crazy for a factory remote. And the problem is, though, there's inventory commitment. And it just isn't. Once upon a time, it used to be so big of an industry. Even your big shops that did a ton of them would be booked out 3-4 weeks. And so you just get the people that didn't want to wait, but you got to have some in stock.
What new squeegee?
Yeah, what new squeegee? Nobody sent me a new squeegee.
Remote starts aren't too bad. Lots of T-harness installation these days. Oh. Yeah, what squeegee are you talking about? Oh.
Agent
I have
Orange.
not.
No, somebody should talk to Rodney McClure for me because he's been promising me for damn near 2 years now that he's going to send me some squeegees. And I placed an order and he just keeps telling me that, he sells a lot of squeegees and he just doesn't have the inventory to sell to me. And I think the reality is he just doesn't like me. That's probably what it is.
Oh, he's tagging him. It's like, get your ass in here.
Here we go. Nah, he's going to see it's us and be like, yeah, no, ignore. I honestly, I don't think he likes me. Now he's going to call me tonight, and I'm going to be busy at the park, and I ain't going to answer, and he's going to think, that motherfucker says I don't like him. He doesn't even answer my call. But I don't know. I would definitely be happy to carry some of Rodney's squeegees. I've tried. I don't chase people. I don't beat down the door trying to get them. I don't hound people. I've let them know my intentions, and for whatever reason, we just can't get it done. And I hope that this winter, when everybody's broke and nobody's selling tent and nobody's buying stuff, he doesn't come and be like, "Hey, man, you want to buy those squeegees still?" Because I'm going to be broke too. If you guys are broke, I'm broke.
I think you should just give me a budget and let me go shopping.
What?
Yeah.
Our budget's zero, Alex. We don't have a budget. We make bad decisions when the time's right and figure out a way out afterwards.
Rodney, we need all the squeegees for free.
For free. Our budget is zero. Make it happen. But yeah, so I ordered 100 of each a couple years ago, back when he didn't have that many. I can't afford 100 of each now, but I wouldn't mind cherry picking some of the big sellers. And like, what is your guys' favorite ones? I know obviously the Sledgehammer is a great extractor, and I've learned that the Dehydra is definitely a favorite on the list. But what's this Agent Orange shit?
That's the dual durometer.
Oh.
And then the other popular one is the Slimer. It's the green one.
This line. Oh, yeah, I saw that back when. He doesn't really talk about that one. Is that a
the Judge?
Oh, and the Judge. I forgot all about the Judge.
Yep, those are the two top ones right now, I think.
Maybe I should ease into it and just be like, just send me like 20 of each. Honestly, he could do 20 of each, right? And then we'll just order as they sell, and maybe it won't be too much for him. I don't know. Somebody talk him into just like, and this week's not a good week though. The local ORV park that I'm always at, that I volunteer at, they had a big event going on this weekend. But 2 weeks ago, we had the average in the area was 6 inches of rain in 2 days. But out where the park's at, they got more like 11 inches in 2 days. And so we've got things that used to be hill climbs are now like 12-foot shelves that just drop straight down. So we've got a lot of work to do before Friday when this event kicks off, because there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of people. Oh, look, my taillights are here. There's going to be hundreds and hundreds of people, and a lot of them will be there for the first time. So we want them to have nice things to say, because, you know, I mean, what people say about you is everything. And if they show up at the park the way that it current in the state it is, they'll be like, well, that park's nothing but just a couple of main trails to drive around. You can't even drive on any of the obstacles, because the obstacles are definitely their own kind of gone. So we're going to spend some time this week. I'm going to put in a couple hours tonight, tomorrow, maybe most of the day, but we got some big storms might be coming through tomorrow. So we're not even 100% sure. And then we got Thursday, and then Friday it opens. So we're like under the wire. So I don't know if buying squeegees this week's a good idea, but maybe next week's a good idea. So yeah, tell him Rick's looking for you, and tell him that you're giving good words about the squeegees I should buy.
And then I think I should make like a big like grand opening, like now here.
Nah, we'll just put them on the website. People will buy them. Our
Oh,
website gets a ton of traffic. I think when people are bored, they just come to our website because we got the best website. Oh, that reminds me. I have to email DoFinder because our DoFinder isn't working again. God, obviously that isn't happening today.
oh man.
Oh, good Lord.
Right?
Slimer got changed to the tint spline. That's interesting.
There's a naming conflict. The Tinsign peoples got mad.
I don't know, because he said Slimer got changed. Oh, due to tint slime. Okay, I thought it said to the tint slime, and I'm like, oh, you're calling it the tint slime. Wow, that's really a jab. But that's understandable. So what did we change it to? Inquiring minds want to know. I want to know. It is still 90 degrees outside.
Oh, it's called the Riddler now.
Oh, okay. I saw that too. Well, good. I'm glad that too became one. A lot easier to put products on your shelf when there's less of them. Jeremy, you're slacking. Alex already beat you to it. And that's the other thing, having a squeegee that's got a unique name, that's really cool. But when you start getting like 10 squeegees and all the unique names, sometimes we struggle to remember the name of it.
I don't
But
know. I'll give him that. The like for example, he's got his version of the Go Doctor. but he's like putting out Go Doctor blades, and he's got a Go Doctor blade of every squeegee blade he offers.
Are you talking Go
If they're
Doctor or Stroke Doctor?
or Stroke Doctor. So
I was
he's
going to say,
got
shit, he's
like
got more new products.
he's got the Sledgehammer Stroke Doctor blade, the Dehydra Stroke Doctor blade, the Riddler Stroke Doctor blade, and the Judge Stroke Doctor blade, which
And
I think is like way too much. Like
are they
options, but
notched like the Stroke Doctor, or are they?
they're notched a little different. Like the front notch is the same, but the back notch is also notched. Like so it's like a parabola, like a very long parabola.
I don't know what a parabola is, but I'll take your word for it. I
It's like
believe you.
a slanted rectangle.
I see. Well, well, well. Jeremy's like, that's bullshit. I was typing it when he said it.
I read that in his voice.
Jeremy just wants to make sure that everybody doesn't think that he's slow, because that boy is everything but slow. I am surprised that you can get him to sit still. He's probably walking around watching his phone. I mean,
What the hell is a red dot plus?
nobody knows.
Oh, it's a red dot that comes in like the big, like how Olfa, you got your regular Olfa, but then you got the fat yellow one.
Yeah.
Red dot's got like their version of that.
Oh, so like a
Like
cartridge knife, or just
I don't know if it's a
got the
cartridge
yellow
knife.
sheath on it, or I mean, just got
It's
the plastic sheath on it.
Yeah, it's just an extra fat red dot.
Oh,
Oh, okay. So that it is just a sheath. It's a slide-on sheath.
cool.
Kind of.
I don't know. I mean, for somebody like Rodney, he comes from my era in tinting, and that's what we started with. That was our option. It wasn't until shortly after that when they released a knife that didn't have that. And I don't know. I fell in love instantly with. I didn't need to hold a big fat knife. Smaller the better. What games you playing on your pewter? Acquiring minds want to know. Alex, I don't know if coffee was a good idea. I've been sitting in air conditioning all day, so I ain't sweating it all out. And I got to tinkle, and it's almost time to end. But I'll drink more coffee because, that just makes it better.
Yeah.
Are you warm up there?
Yeah, it's it's hella hot up here.
That's that's because I don't run your air conditioner.
Oh, I
We
didn't
should
think I
think to,
had any.
we should think to turn it on during Tool Talk. I mean, you don't. Well, actually, lately you've been spending more time in your office, but the hallway stays nice and cool typically. And so if you're not in the office, it's kind of
I
irrelevant,
usually don't notice.
Well, it is warm today. Oh, Andy's drinking coffee. Drinking coffee, playing video games, watching Tool Talk. So, I mean, he's slowed down a little bit because he's only doing 3 things at once right now.
I can't drink too much coffee. I gotta find like that perfect like in the middle. Because if I don't drink enough coffee, I don't get nothing done. But if I drink too much coffee, I don't get nothing done. So I have to like drink just enough.
Just drink enough to get going and then switch to decaf. And I found decaf is typically stronger than regular coffee. I don't even understand that. That's the craziest thing. But hey guys, you don't mind if we like blow this off 10 minutes early, do you? Is that okay? I mean, usually we go like over. So I mean, for once we could probably just, you know,
Yeah, I think that's
call it.
cool. I think my wife's almost here.
Yeah. You got a class tonight too?
No, I gotta do homework.
Oh. Oh yeah. Fighting
I'm gonna
with
try to get
Liddy and waiting for film. Sounds like a good time. Oh, Mary, I said hello. I will. I will.
Right.
And for the rest of y'all, you guys be good. Next week, it'll be much cooler. There's a cold front, actually, 2 cold fronts coming through. So that should cool things down a bit and make it feel like fall is coming. Not for you
And Jeremy
Floridians,
might get
but you
hit
know.
with the hurricane.
Of course, it's that time of the year for that too. But all right, guys, until next week, we will see ya.
Later.
We're out.